So Madam Fatima took Aisha from Jubril to her place after the transaction was done, but lied to Aisha that she bought her for 2 million Nigerian naira. But thinking about it logically, this wasn't a fair deal for Aisha at all, having to pay back 2 million naira against the initial 300,000 naira she was going to pay back to Jubril. I mean, what would you have done? Would you uphold your dignity like that in that situation, or would you just succumb and pay off your 300k debt? Let's hear your opinion in the comment section below, because I know most people would say, why didn't you just do it, considering the fact that it wasn't going to be our first time. And to make matters worse, Auntie Fatima added an extra 200,000 naira to the 2 million naira, making it a total of 2.2 million naira debt, telling Aisha that because she helped her, she was going to pay back that extra 200,000 naira for her goodwill. But what Auntie Fatima didn't know was that Aisha eavesdropped on her conversation with Mr. Jubril about the amount she was going to be sold for. That's the 1.5 million naira. But come to think of it, that's pure wickedness, exploiting the poor lady because she was vulnerable at her mercy and didn't have the protection of her family and the government because she was an illegal migrant. And these were Nigerians treating other Nigerians that way. Funny enough, Auntie Fatima was even an indigene of a neighboring community close to Aisha's village. But of course, money is the root of all evil, they say. The ladies, when I heard the ladies, when they get to Libya, they are used for prostitution. So all of the guys, what are the men used for?
When they take them to Libya, they sell them, they sell the ladies.
No.
They sell the men too. Now they will not be beating them, maltreating them, and recruiting them, telling them to call their parents back in Africa, to call their parents to send money for them to be released. So anybody that dies along the line, they'll kind of go to where? Like me, they held me. Okay. I was locked up for about 2 weeks without food and water.
Okay.
But they asked me to pay money, was it not 700,000 naira? They asked me to pay. I wanted to pay the money, and they released me. Now most times, when people pay the money, they will still be demanding for more.
For more. What can you do? Okay, so how long were you there, like in Libya, before going to Italy?
I was in Libya for about 5 months before I was able to cross.
So Auntie Fatima offered Aisha a nanny job to take care of old people and a cleaning job, but Aisha picked the cleaning job as it was perceived to be the easier option, thinking it would give her more time to do other productive stuffs after her daily chores. But to her greatest surprise, she was employed in a 12-story building owned by an Arabian who schooled in the States. Aisha on her first day was asked to clean 48 toilets, and this was supposed to be done every day. Perhaps she didn't ask for the job description. She did it for like a day or two and broke down. She was so much in pains that she couldn't even sleep at night. All she did was cry and shout at the top of her voice. So the Arabic man who happens to be her boss walked in on her and asked her what the problem was. They usually call them Mudi, meaning boss. So Aisha explained everything to her Mudi, telling him about the CS. Mudi asked Aisha how much she was owing Auntie Fatima, so Aisha told him and he promised to pay her 4 million naira. Without wasting time, Mudi called Auntie Fatima to come for the money, but to Aisha's greatest surprise, Auntie Fatima stormed the place angrily with 4 Nigerian guys to take Aisha away from the house. Aisha's Mudi tried asking why she was taking Aisha away and tried stopping her, but Auntie Fatima insisted, being hell-bent on taking Aisha along with her. Auntie Fatima's grievance was that Aisha tried exposing her and almost got her in trouble by telling Mudi about their deal, so she ordered the boys to lock her up and beat her up mercilessly. That was when Aisha understood what she had done and pleaded for her life, telling Auntie Fatima that she didn't know her discussion with Mudi would cause any kind of trouble.
Now, the third place she worked was quite tough, where she worked as a cleaner for an Arabian woman who was extremely mean to her, always threatening Aisha that she was going to end her life if she didn't perform her daily duties properly because there were cameras and pistols in almost every part of the house.
Yeah, of course, guns. Guns are as common as getting sachet water in traffic over here in Nigeria because over 80% of the population owns one, and Africans are killed at the slightest error, like the slaughtering of chicken on Christmas Day. I guess at some point Aisha was getting too comfortable with the empty death threats from her new Mudi, as she had a quarrel with her because she was craved for not doing her job properly.
Well, Aisha was again beaten up thoroughly and dragged to the laundry room where she was locked up in the washing machine. Her boss then turned on the washing machine and left the house. Probably she forgot, or it was just sheer wickedness.
It was said that she spent over 24 hours in there, but somehow the power mysteriously went off, and that was something that has never happened before in the history of her stay in Libya.
This is to say Aisha was in luck, because whatever she believed in and the universe was truly on her side, because she would have lost her life in there.
Hamudi finally released her when she got back home and fired Aisha. I'm guessing she was also shocked seeing the blackout on that same day and seeing Aisha alive because her intentions were really to kill her.
Superstitiously, I would think that must have proven Aisha's innocence to her, and that was why she had to let her go in one piece. Afterwards, Aisha reached out to Auntie Fatima again since she didn't have anywhere else to go and she didn't have friends, so I'm guessing that was her last resort. She then explained everything that had happened, like everything she had experienced, but instead of Auntie Fatima to help, she rather sent a driver who drove Aisha straight to prison. Like, why? Because I really don't understand. If she didn't want to help, she could have just left Aisha to her own fate without intervening, right? But I think Aisha still owed Auntie Fatima 1.2 million naira, so obviously that was bad business for her, so she wanted to punish Aisha by sending her to prison.
More so, if she had left Aisha to roam the streets, she could have somehow exposed Auntie Fatima because people who were involved in the trafficking business were the most wanted, so I guess that was why she did what she did. Aisha was in prison for months for no good reason, put behind bars by someone she could call a sister in a strange land with no good clothes, no food. As a matter of fact, they were served bare macaroni with raw tomato paste toppings all through her stay in prison. Just imagine having a particular well-prepared dish for just a few days. Now picture how nauseous excessive intake of that will make you feel and compare it to a meal like that. Somehow along the line she was lucky to be bought by an Arabian man who came visiting the prison with the intentions of using them for whatever he wanted to use them for.
But Aisha never found out what it was because the man set her free and asked her to go home, probably because she wasn't fit. Unfortunately, we'll never find out. On leaving the prison, Aisha met a taxi driver who happened to be a Ghanaian because the southern part of Libya is dominated by blacks and that was where they were.
But Aisha begged for help, telling him she had nowhere to go. And then she was asked if she had any contacts in Libya, and then she said no because she didn't want to repeat the same mistake she made the last time when she called Auntie Fatima. She had learnt her lesson and it was now a case of once beaten, twice shy. She pleaded to use his phone to put a call across to her parents in Nigeria to tell them what she had gone through.
She was eventually rescued when her dad went to the embassy to report the matter a few days later while she was sheltered by the Ghanaian.
He then got a number and gave it to her, which she called to connect her to Nigerian embassy in Libya. She got to the airport, explained herself and waited for like 1 week for the authorities to deport her to Nigeria. She was brought back to Nigeria afterwards and she moved on with her life with her daughter, planning to continue her education. So I'm guessing if anyone were to say go to hell at some point in an argument, she would wear a beautiful smile on her face and say, I've been there.
The real small is that, so if I come, maybe my town borders your town. If I get to the extreme end of my town, I will hand over to you. You understand? And you know how to beat them to the end of. You will hand over to the next man in the next town. This is just the system. So you can pass through the road because all the roadblocks are along the roads. Even when you are trying to beat them, they will not sit inside the car like kings, so as if they are traveling. You don't put them inside. Maybe put Dosby on top of them.
Wow.
And even with those Dosby and everything, you still don't pass through the normal road. As you are doing it with AK-47, come down on your lap. In case anything is trying to double cross your profile.
Yes.
From Agadez to the place I joined the water, I entered 54 vehicles.
54
vehicles, yes. If you're from a particular place, you cannot move to the other town. You are in your hotel, you cannot move to the other town. Stay your place. That is the place of Libya right now. Initially, I told you, these people, this smugglers, I don't know how they're able to run this connection. Now, you enter Libya from the downtown, which is the southern part of Libya. And you're going to cross you are going to the northern part of the extreme end of the northern part of Libya now to cross the water, right?
Yeah.
They will smuggle you all through. Not like they carry you go like Kingo. They smuggle you from bushes to bushes, beating police checkpoint because every community now, every town now has its own system of government. It says its own police doing making their own roadblock and all that.
Yes.
They never catch you. You are going to prison. I know of one. They use this big truck. I think they loaded there are some. They will carry them. Inside, human being inside, maybe they will not put other things like maybe like food stuff to cover them. Those human beings inside the truck. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think they said they were carrying about 180 people. So the truck broke down. The The driver said, well, he's going to try to get a mechanic to fix the vehicle. That was how the driver had left the trouble. I knew before he could come, this people must have all died.
Wow.
So the driver never came back. This people was not there for like 2 days. What did happen? The uncle is all of them don't die. I go to the bank of the Mediterranean Sea. Bigger cities that live by the Mediterranean Sea.
Coastline.
They all have militants. Every town have its own militants that are patrolling the water, looking for immigrants, looking for these people. So if they catch you, they'll carry you go to their local prison again. Go, they kill people there, they rape there, and then when they die, they throw away. So again, even they need to arrest in the water. Government don't give the kind of emergency Libyan Navy money. They don't empower them with arms, with ships to be patrolling the water. Any ship, any local ship they see, I try to cross the water. Then they catch them, back to their country. So many dangers there. They don't already enter the water and they go. You don't even know where they go. They only tell you say take compass. I'm not lucky enough. When the compass now, the ship will go, the local balloon will go. You don't know where they go. If you're not lucky enough, you can't help. You will not face where you're coming from. You won't even know because the water cycle. Before you know it happen, you don't come back to the bank of the river again. Before you come back now, those are military. They don't wait for you.
So those militants, they are always there.
They feel like I don't feel like area boys when they felt they want to those people they enter water. Anybody they kind of park up now, go to our local prison. When they beat them, they tell them they call people, when they send money call. That's why I tell you, out of 100, only 4 will make it. That balloon, you are not crossing the water to Italy. No. You are like someone that throws dice. You are just playing a game with your life. Now, because if you enter, according to international law, 12 miles from the offshore of Italian coast, the NGO have every right to rescue you because your life is under risk. That is the law. Anybody without water 12 miles from anything below 12 miles, they will not come to you. They don't get the right. So once they know that these people have moved 12 miles away from the Libya shore, they will definitely come to you. They will not come close to you with that big ship. No.
So it doesn't capsize.
So it doesn't capsize. They will stay maybe like 5 kilometers away. They will use the normal fly boats.
Speedboat, okay.
Will come to you and start picking you one after the other. Maybe 5 times. They'll put the hand over and give the big ship. That's how they do it. Now, even the Libyan Coast Guard, which is the Libyan Navy, they are patrolling the water looking for people to arrest. Arrest you back to the prison, from the prison to your country. If you are lucky, I have seen a situation whereby the Libyan rescue, we are dragging the Libyan Navy, we're dragging these people from the international SOS. They were dragging the people from there, like giving them to us. We are taking them back to the prison. Then Libya, they started to shoot gun to scare them, for those people, they don't deal with arms, to scare these people. But in the water, there are special soldiers in the water. It took us 3 days to arrive in Italy from there.
Are there visible parameters to indicate that okay, you've gotten to a certain point where the Libyan patrols cannot, harm you anymore?
Libya don't get law, so they don't give a if you like, go hide for under their on the whole program. I told you there was a situation where the Libyan Coast Guard were dragging them from the international, the SOS.
Yeah. How long were you guys on the sea?
I think we were on the sea for about 13 hours before the SOS rescued us.
Italian rescue team?
It's not the Italian rescue team. It's an international, some UN.
UN. Just 13 hours.
Because 13 hours is not just my brother.
I hear of people staying on the water for days or even a week and more.
That's not possible.
Yes, like the story I heard, they said they were lost.
It's just for hours. Nobody can survive that water for such a long time. They will not die. That thing they use to cross is just a kind of balloon.
Balloon, yeah.
You understand? And with a plywood inside. When the plywood soaked with water, the water will start coming in. Then everybody will drown. Then how can you spend this on such a kind of a very fragile plywood with hundreds of people? It's impossible. The journey has done more hurt than good. Many people have lost their loved ones. In 2018, when I arrived here, they told us so far they lost about 35,000 people in that particular year in the water. There's one particular ship that capsized and there were 750 people on board.
And there was no rescue team.
The rescue was sure that going to survive even when they are with you. Anything can happen. So when they came, they asked us to calm down and go to rescue them. But you know, Africans now started dragging everybody, they all rushing. You have been in the water. Now the rescue has come. This is just between in the next 30 minutes you will all be free. You're not here. Now they started dragging. About 15 people fell inside the water. Me, I don't know how to swim. So if you can swim, at least you'll be able to suspend yourself for the meantime for the pick you up. About 15 people fell inside the water. I think they're able to pick about 4 or 5. The rest
Died.
go like that. Now later, we don't even know. Now later now, you don't decide the bridge ship now with the play music, with the dance, with the enjoy ourselves. This person don't do one, so I'm not seeing my friend though. So I don't call no people when they don't there among us.
But most times, some people just get frustrated and, out of frustration, they just jump inside the water on their own.
Mostly girls start saying, I've got you, my mother is calling me. Let me tell you, the whole thing, and then because there was a law, they passed the law in the Europe, 2017. And everybody resting for the water should be returned back to Lybia. That they are fed up with immigrants flooding their country.
Yeah.
You understand? People have been stuck there. And like I told you, I have friends that were back, we came to Lybia the same time, 2017. They are still there tomorrow.
So, as it is now, they don't rescue people anymore.
They don't rescue. They rescue, they return them. Even the small goalers, among them, there was a fight that broke out 2017 that they killed a lot of Libyans. They killed themselves. You understand? So now, even within them, they still try to make sure that within the Libyans, they themselves, within them, they are fighting to make sure you don't go close to the water. Immediately in the back on Libya journey, you are likely to lose your life at any time.
We went through here there. Even there are some people there now which are supposed to have been deported. Some are there have spent a year plus. Some every self have every dying. Some of them are getting mad, mental problem like this lady here. Some of them are not well, some are sick. Like me now, look at my eyes now. Look at what I'm passing through. It was an Arab man that used gun to hit my eyes. You see what I'm passing through. We just pray to God to save us, we Nigerians, for another country from the hands of the Libyans. On my body I've got white. We have not taken our bath since 2 months. Just to bath, even to brush. Is it bullet wound? Is it the gunshot? Even when we are going to eat, they beat us. We are going inside, they will beat us. We are just like slave. First now, I don't keep dread. This that kind of hair. I'm a married man, 35 years. I graduated in the data state protecting Ogara Otefe. I studied business education, business admin. That's what I read. People start keeping their hairs as if maybe they are mad. Just look at me now.
When they call us to eat, we eat 5-5, and that 5-5 is 1 spoon. 1 spoon for 5 people, and that is for the whole day. It's 1 food every day, 1 particular food every day. We are still toileting inside the place. They lock us up. We are toileting inside the place. No flushing, nothing.
Like me now, as a woman now, since 2 months now when they arrest me, now only 5 days I don't bath. Food do not do. People when they there now, maybe by this time now, they never chop night food. That night food now since around 1 till this time. If they want to share another, they'll tell you, say, "Come me slaughter, 5 zap." If you not see that, if you see pipe, bros, no pipe there here, no big. They'll use both woman, both man. If we get one boy and I see for there today when they be here, they will shoot for hand about 5 days ago. Why? That they use gun, they tell people make they sit down, and so they release the bullets the entire body. People when they say Libya, Italy no use you when they carry me on top water. 4 days now they lock me for inside house, no food, no water. If you can't touch the one they see for desert, you feel stay inside motor now, you dey see spirit. People when they die for desert, now spirits, now they kill many past.
Since that time we have been eating 1 food macaroni. This bread, at times, if the Arab want to suffer us, then we cut it into two. Then we share it for each person. This half oza is the food we eat from morning till night, even till tomorrow morning. Since October 11th, we have been eating macaroni, no even rice. Nothing like rice.
Every military man, every uniform man in Libya is building a prison, private prison. That's what they're doing now. When they catch Nigerians on top of sea, they're telling them they don't want them to go to it. They bring them back and they put them in prison and they force them, beat them, torture them, control money from your country. If you should go to a different home, you see there are so many Nigerians that be calling their country, controlling money in this country, and they send it to Libya. They took everything I have, all the money I worked, all my phone contacts, everything. They don't want me to call anybody, talk to anybody.